We are so glad you're here. Welcome to the Face the Future class. And this class specifically is talking about one of Mary Kay's skincare lines called the Mary Kay Skincare Line. So I know a lot of time went into that name, but very simple. But just like how simple the name is, that's how simple the skincare line is. And it's an amazing entry-level skincare line. So we're excited to talk about that today. I want to welcome my co-host, Christine. She's going to be co-hosting with me and talking about her favorite, a couple of her most favorites in this, but also why she liked this line and why she started with this line too in Mary Kay. So first of all, Christine, I'd love for you to quickly share a little about you, how long you've been in Mary Kay, how long you've been building your Mary Kay business, and why did you decide to join Mary Kay?
Yeah, I'm Christine Hayes. I joined back in September of last year, so it's been about like 8-9 months ish. I lose track, so I'm just like I've been in it for a little while, so I'm still new to it. I fell in love actually with the skincare line just because, as I was talking to Roseanne before, I'd never even thought about washing my face. I just did everything else, but my face was like the last and it was always itchy. And so I was like, well, why is it always itchy? And it's like, well, it's probably dry. So, so didn't know what to use. And so I was like, well, why don't I try this line, see how it works, trying to get a routine down and then go from there. And I joined because I love the Mary Kay values of God first, family second, career third. And I just wanted to make friends, see if I could do this, and just really love the girl and bonding I get to do with the special women. So
yep, so fun. I love that. And I think a lot of women can relate to that. You know, they don't take the time to take care of their skin, and it sometimes doesn't even cross their mind. And what an amazing skincare line to start with. And you're like, oh, my skin's not itchy anymore. And having that. So thank you to all those who've already typed their name in the chat. Today, I'm giving away a mini version of this skincare line. It's great for a trial set for you to see if this is a good skincare line for you or for a loved one, or it might be even a great travel sized. I know we have summer coming up and warmer weather, and maybe we'll be getting out. So Mary Lynn and Tirsa's here. Welcome. And also you have your granddaughter, Corinne. Corinne, awesome. Welcome. And Holly's on. So glad that you're here. And we also have Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. It was fun hanging out with you last night. Welcome. And Kira's on. So glad you're here, Kira. Thanks so much for supporting Christina. And we have Ashley on. So glad you're here, girl. And Amy's on. Thanks for supporting Rachel. And Rachel's here. Also, thank you for supporting Rachel as well. So glad you guys are here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share a couple, talk a little kind of like an overview of this product line. Then Christine's going to take a couple of the products. I'm going to take a couple of them, and then we'll wrap up here. We'll play a little game. We'll spin a wheel, find out what the gift of purchase is, and then we'll also find out who's our final drawing winner too. So type your name in the chat, whether you're watching from Facebook or from YouTube. And I'm just refreshing the Facebook group so I can see who's watching live there. So, okay. So as we get started, this line came out about almost a year ago to the month. It was last May. And they came out with a line for girls in their teen years or early 20s that are not worried about the anti-aging and not needing that type of advanced skincare, but wanting to get into some good skincare habits. I remember when I was 12, my mom took me to the department store. She got me on Clinique, and I loved the cleanser, the toner, the moisturizer, and I felt so grown up to be able to take care of my skin. And I love this line because this is also a very gentle skincare line to introduce skincare, whether it's a first-time user of skincare or, a teenager who's not needing anti-aging. It comes in 2 different formulas. There's a combination to oily formula, and that's our mattifying. So if the skin is more oily, you want to go for that. Or if it's pretty normal to dry, I would recommend the hydrating skincare line. And I thought this was perfect to kind of, it's a simple start. And there's just 4 steps. Here's the steps and the order of application. So it's a cleanser first. I love to keep my cleanser in the shower. So that makes it super easy every morning. It's already part of my shower routine. It's already done. I already got that stuff done. I use microdermabrasion, which is a different type of scrub, but for someone on this skincare line, I definitely would recommend the exfoliating scrub. It's a little more gentle than microdermabrasion. They can use it 2 to 3 times a week. I would also recommend keeping it in the shower. Then there's a balancing toner that you would do daily, and you'd use it on a cotton ball. And we'll talk more about that. And then the moisturizer you follow up with. A little bit goes a long way. And welcome, Sarah, and welcome, Christina. So glad you guys are here. So that's what about that. So Christine, let's have you walk us through the very first step.
Yeah, so this is our hydrating cleanser. And basically just like what it says on the slide, that it gently prepares the skin for the next step. It removes impurities and oil without the skin feeling stripped of necessary moisture. I know a lot of products make your face feel like tight. Like I said, I never tried anything till Mary Kay, but I've had a lot of people say it's like their skin felt really tight with like other things, and then with Mary Kay and stuff, it doesn't. It's fragrance free, so if anyone has any allergies. And then, like she said, it's designed with normal to dry skin in mind, but it's suitable for all ages. And just I when I first used it, I really loved, like, after like maybe like the second or third day that I used it, I was like, my face feels like it doesn't feel like dry. Like after I did like all the steps, like, and I felt my face, I'm like, my face feels like clean. Like I said, I'd never had considered trying to clean my face ever. And when I went to a business class, I said, this has made my skin feel really good. And they said, well, you can use that to get people to come and buy it. And I was like, yeah. So that was really good. And then the exfoliating scrub feels like, it sort of feels like sand, like you're rubbing like sand like on your face kind of a thing, which I felt was really, really weird. But then it's like, it's good because, like it says, it helps polish off the dead skin away from your pores. It unclogs them, and it also prepares the skin to absorb the next step. Formulated with protecting glycerin or whatever it is on your, and then that's fragrance free also. Dermatology tested. So like I said, when I put it on my face, it felt like really like sandy, but then afterwards it was like my face felt like I was in heaven. Just lots of products probably feel like heaven in a bottle, but for me, this felt like heaven in a bottle. I just, after I did it, I touched my face and I was just like, this feels nice. So yeah.
Do you have like a couple days of the week that you usually use that? Like, or how do you kind of remember when to use your scrub? And because that's a product not to use every day.
I just think like if I've been out in the sun and I'm sweating or whatever, that I think to use it, just because it gets that extra dead skin away, and then my skin's doesn't feel so dirty anymore. I don't know if anybody has sweating problem when it comes to being in the sun, but I know my kids, when they're out, as soon as they're out and they play for a little bit, it's like sweat's pouring down their faces. So I'm like, I don't know if anybody else, when they go out and walk anywhere, they have. But yeah, I always feel dirty with that. So if I ever have been sweating a lot, that I'll use that, as it says.
2 to 3 times a week.
2 times. Yeah.
Now, whether it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or like, I know I do exfoliation on Wednesday and Sunday, and that way, like, what day is it? Oh yeah, I need to use this. So, yeah. And I like the second one, that it prepares the skin to better absorb. When you're using some type of exfoliator once, twice, or 3 times a week, you're sloughing off that dead skin. And like Christine talked about, her skin felt so soft, and then your skincare is more effective too. So I love that.
And I actually demonstrated with this line, and I asked the woman that I did it with after, I'm like, how does your skin feel? And she's like, it feels so soft. And I'm like, yes, it's like that. So it feels like, I was like, that's what it felt like for me when I used it for the first time. So it's like, yes, it does feel soft, and it felt more moisturized. Like it didn't feel dry at all. So
Love that.
Yeah.
And Christina, she uses microdermabrasion set on Sundays and Sundays too. So we're twinners and that's awesome. I love that. Cool. And then I'm going to talk about the last two steps. So the third one is the balancing toner, and this helps to restore the skin's balance without drying it out. It also, a toner helps to balance the pH levels on the skin. So your skin's not going to be super dry or super oily. So it keeps it balanced there. Helps the skin look healthy and vibrant and doesn't leave behind residue or lingering impurities. I love to have this with a cotton ball or a cotton pad and, put it on there and then wipe it. I like to usually start in the center of my face and go out. That feels so refreshing, that toner there. If you're using our Miracle set, we already have a toner in the cleanser. That's why it's called the 4-in-1 cleanser. And so I love for the more advanced skincare lines where we're doing maybe extra steps with eye cream and lifting serum, that they've put the toner in the cleanser. But for this stage of life where they're not needing anti-aging, I love, and I used a toner when I was in my teenage years. And so that's really great step. Then, and we have Amber on. Welcome, Amber, Mama Moose. Love it. Welcome, Amber. So glad you're here. Then this last step, so it's really quick and easy. It's usually just 3 to maybe 4 steps, depending on the day, if you're using the exfoliating scrub. But the final step is that moisturizer. So there's a hydrating moisturizer for normal to dry, but even people with oily skin need a moisturizer. Just, of course, when you have oily skin, you want to make sure it's lightweight, oil-free. And this moisturizer, a little bit goes a long way. You can use it on your face and your neck, and then it perfectly hydrates and gives your skin the hydration it needs without overly hydrating it. So this one on the picture here is the mattifying one that's specifically designed for combination oily, but we have a different one for hydrating. So I love that our dermatologists have created 2 different, skincare lines based on people's skin type. And Edith, so glad you're on. Welcome, welcome. And Christina says, I love the old school Mary Kay toner that my mom had. She was so mad when they combined it. Now to get your mom. So, that's something I think, if you really love that like toner and it's a habit, you could always use a toner too after your cleanser, just for an extra toner. So, so that's beautiful. As we wrap up, I want to show the little mini trial set too. So it's all 4 of these steps. They last about 2 weeks, because if you are, wanting to get introduced to a skincare line, you want to start with this one. Or if you have maybe a teenager who you're like, oh, maybe we should start getting them into skincare. I think this is a really great route to see how they can get into habits. One of my good girlfriends, she came over during spring break and we did make facials with our daughters, and she got the little mini version for her daughter. And just to kind of create those habits, I'm like, okay, find something she's already really good at doing morning and night. Maybe it's brushing her teeth. So put this next to her toothbrush, and so that she knows, oh, yep, I brush my teeth, I do my skincare, and creating those habits. And I think that's really great to get into, because when you can start taking care of your skin in those earlier years, I know some of us are past those years, but it's okay. But if you're able to start in those early years and get a head start. The one thing I would change about the skincare line, and when my daughters are old enough, they're only 8 and 6, so they're not quite, they're close, but not yet. But I'm thinking, since there's no sunscreen in this moisturizer, I'm almost wondering if I'll have them use our mineral sunscreen, SPF 30, during the day, so they have that protection from the sun. And then at night, have them use the hydrating, or I think mostly they'll probably be pretty normal to dry, but if they're oily, the mattifying moisturizer. And that's what I'm like, I wish I would have used a sunscreen when I was younger, or, and maybe I'm sure my mom told me wear sunscreen, and a lot of times I ignored her, but I'm like, if it's just part of their routine already. And I love our sunscreen because it doesn't feel like you're wearing sunscreen. You can have it on and you're not like smelling it or feeling greasy and stuff. So that's something I've considered in my mind, to kind of have them use this one at night. And then we have a mineral sunscreen that they can use during the day. So yes, I love the mini sets. Yes, they are so fun for travel, so fun for a trial. So the mini set is 22, and each piece in the regular full size is 20. And the coolest part is you can start as simple or as elaborate if you want. If you want to start super simple and just have like the cleanser, like Christine talked about, and I talked about the moisturizer, just having that as like your bare bones of skincare, just start there. And then when you're like, okay, I got that down, now I want to add the toner, or I got that down, now I want to add the scrub. And, you can totally take it at your own pace. And occasionally I get breakouts still. So I love that Mary Kay's Clear Proof line, and all of our skincare lines are compatible with each other. So I can like mix and match. And because our same dermatologist created them all, they're compatible with each other. So, okay. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to add our wheel of names to the screen, and we're going to spin and see what our gift with purchase is. So if you found something that you thought, ooh, I would really benefit from using the scrub, the skincare set, the travel set, by ordering from your beauty consultant tonight, you are going to get, drum roll, 10% off your order. Yes, that's so exciting. And something to kind of think about. Maybe you're stocked on products, but maybe there's someone that you know who's maybe graduating, or I know we have some teachers on here. Amber is a teacher, and teacher appreciation is coming up. And so thinking of what maybe, and it might not be something we talked about today, but we have lots of fun teacher appreciation gifts and ideas, or also Mother's Day. And we have cute satin hands poems, satin lips. We have the Mint Bliss foot lotion and different masks. And so, 10% off, think of any gift giving you're needing to be doing, and you can reach out to your consultant and see what she's offering. So yay, 10% off your order. So I'm going to get all of your names on the wheel now. And what we're going to do while I'm doing that is, sorry, it doesn't like it when I like back and forth. So I have to do different layouts for it to like, oh yeah, I'm back here. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about who you would love to give a free Pampery treatment. This really luxurious treatment on Wednesday nights where you get to try microdermabrasion. So if you want to try that, text your consultant and say, I would love to try the hydration happy hour. It's the glow. Like Sabrina saw me after I did it. She's like, your skin is glowing. It really was. I'm like, I just did this facial. And so if that's something you haven't tried, please text your consultant and get samples of that. Or you can also, if you've already tried it recently and you want other people to try it, this is a fun way to think about people to refer. So I'll give you a quick minute. I'm going to get your name popped up on the wheel, play some background music so you can have that chance to think. The referrals can live anywhere in the United States because your consultant can do things virtually. And we do ask that they're over 21 and not already have a Mary Kay consultant that you know of. So I'll play some music and give you a chance to think about who you would like to refer. And when you fill out the whole thing, you get a makeup item of your choice half off. So half off a mascara or half off a lip gloss, brow tint, blush, you name it. So, okay, oops, clicking on the wrong buttons. Here's some music for you. Okay, I think I got everyone's name on the will. So thanks for your patience. And if you're still working on the referrals, you can just text that over to your consultant when you're done. Make sure she can read your handwriting, or if you're texting it, that's perfect. So you don't have to put it in the chat, just privately send it. So, okay, so we are going to wrap up and show a little about the specials that we have with what we talked about today on this sheet. And your consultant will text this to you after. The top, there's some specials, but right below that, we have our different skincare lines. And on the very far right is what we talked about today, the Mary Kay set. So that each piece is $20 in that. So it's $80. That skincare line is about 50 cents a day. I think that's the math that I should write all these math numbers down, because I figured out if you're to use that, and most of the products in that line last 4 to 5 months, using it morning and night. And the scrub will probably even last longer because you're only using it twice a week or so. So that line is about 50 cents a day to keep the wrinkles away, right? Or to kind of get into those good skincare habits. The little kit, like I talked about, is $22. That one lasts 2 weeks. Amazing for multiple weekend getaways, or if you're going on a long trip. Usually I'm not gone more than 2 weeks. So that's trying to ever think if I haven't gone more than 2 weeks. So, but yeah, so if you are, you just have another set with you if you're going to be gone 3 or 4 weeks, but that's kind of rare most times. So that's a little about that. And then we do have other supplements right below that, makeup also on the left, and then body care. Like I was talking about how our satin hands and satin lips are perfect gifts for different occasions and stuff. And then at the top, there's the Princess, Queen, and Cadillac. And the Princess, you can pick up to 4 sets. And so the Mary Kay set counts as a set. But then let's say you're a teenager, or you also maybe struggle with acne. And so having the Clear Proof set, I know I definitely love to have that just in case I get, a breakout that time of the month or something. And then there's also our, like for teenagers, like having a simple mascara, eye makeup remover, mascara. Christine's getting a nice massage there. That's awesome. My husband just got home. Hey, but so I love that. Just when I got into makeup, it was an eyeliner and mascara, and that was it. And just to kind of learn the basics of that, but have something good to clean it off. So that's the eye candy set. So finding kind of some basic skincare, body care, makeup for your teenager or your granddaughter or yourself, based on what skincare line you want. So 10% off any size order, super fun. And then we either do whatever's the bigger discount. So if you're getting multiple sets, like the Princess, you get 4 sets, you only pay $199. You get the travel roll-up bag. The Queen, you can pick up to 6 sets, which is around probably a little over like $320 or so, but you only pay $299. And the Cadillac, you can pick 8 sets. So depending on what sets you pick, is your savings there. And then you just pay $399 on that one. So if that's a bigger deal, we do that. If it's a bigger deal with your 10% off, we do that. So whatever, but we can't combine them, unfortunately, but whatever your bigger deal is. And then this is so blowing my mind, but on April 1st, no fooling, Mary Kay announced, and sorry, you guys have been watching my replays the last couple of weeks, so maybe you don't even know this, but it's only $20 this month to start Mary Kay. And I thought they were fooling, honestly. I was just telling people it's normal price, but yeah, they announced it's only $20. So you still get the same amazing starter kit with samples, catalog, a website, and the ability to process debit and credit cards. You can do an optional add-on, which is normally $90 and you get $450, but this month it's only $80 and you still get $450 in products. You only pay $80. So that's insane. You can either use those products for yourself, or you can demo those and let other people try it, or give them as gifts, or sell them, whatever you want to do with that. And then I always love to share if someone's interested in either joining for the side hustle or for the savings. We don't have any sales quotas. And so you can join to enjoy the products. And Christine, that was a really big reason why she joined, because she was like, okay, I really want to take better care of my skin. And, if I'm going to be washing my skin the rest of my life, I might as well get 50% off on it. And so our minimum orders $225. We get to decide when we order, what we order, and we only have to do that minimum order once a year to remain a consultant. If we go longer than a year and we're not needing to order, you can always go back to being a customer. And I love that there's a 90% buyback guarantee, that we can try this. If we find it's not for us, Mary Kay will buy it back. That's how much they believe and want to encourage women to go for their dreams. And so as we're on here, and I want to share some exciting news. I hope she's okay with me sharing this, but Christina London, who's on here, and her guest is Kira, but Christina set a goal a couple weeks ago to save up to take her boys to the zoo and to use her Mary Kay business for that. And she texted me yesterday. It was the happiest text, and let me know I finished my goal. And she even finished it earlier. She was like planning on doing that even later. And she's like, I'm done with it. So I am so excited, Christina. I think that's so fun for your boys too, to see you working towards a goal and I mean, you're already like teaching them good money management habits anyway, but I think that's amazing for them to actually see it in action where you're like saving up to get something. And I love that this business can provide that. And so if that's ever been a thought in your mind, it's only $20 this month. And when Christine joined, was it 35 when you joined?
Yeah, it was 35.
And I joined, it was 100. So yeah, we're both like, this would be amazing. So, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on here. We're going to wrap up and add our Wheel of Names. I want to double check I have everyone on here. And right now, text your consultant and let her know that you finished watching this. Let her know what was your favorite thing that you learned. If there's any products that you're needing, remember, remind her you get 20% off. And okay, here we go. Okay, so here's our Wheel of Names, and I have it in alphabetical order. Maybe I'll make it even a little bigger so you can see it. Make sure your name's on there. If not, hurry and type it into the YouTube. I went and checked all the other places too. So I think I have everyone on here. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's spin this wheel and find out. Let's, where is sorry. A lot of little screens. Let's shuffle it up and let's see who our winner is. So. And it looks like it's Edith. Great, Edith. Oh, you lucky girl. How fun is this? Yay. So I'll get the correct formula out to you. So she already told me her skin type actually earlier today. That's good timing. I'll get that sent to you. And congratulations. Thank you so much for your support and being loyal to your beauty consultant. That means the world to her that she's on here. So regardless if you're needing to order or not, please text her and let her know that you finished watching this, because that means the world that you took some time and supported her and being a guest on here. So look at all this. Congratulations. Love it. And next week, I think we're talking about exfoliation products. So we're going to go more into like not satin hands, but stuff for your face, like microdermabrasion, like Christina was talking about. So have a fantastic rest of your day. And thank you for supporting your girl. We love you. Bye. Oh, it's so sweet. Love you guys. Bye.